Good morning, everybody. It's your boy D Mac. Y'all, excuse me. I'm eating some corn on the cob right now, and I'm eating it with this seasoning. It's called Tajin Classico seasoning, and you can find it in the Hispanic area of your grocery store. It's called Tajin, Tajin, and it has lime in it. And the combination of the lime and the seasoning on corn on the cob is just an amazing flavor. And so I recommend it to you. Shout out to my Hispanic brothers and sisters. Y'all really did a number with this Tajin seasoning. Just a little promo for y'all, man, because I enjoy that. But let me get into what I came on here for. First of all, salute everybody. Salute Chicky. Thank you for coming in. Yes, we're back. Because I have a topic that's very interesting, and this is something that's very important for any black podcaster to know. Who is Charlemagne the God, and what is he to black podcasting? Well, Charlemagne the God is the gatekeeper for all black podcasting in this day and era. He merged with iHeartMedia to become the not just the spokesperson but the overseer of all black podcasting networks. And so that's why you see a lot of these black podcasters, whenever they make their press runs, they immediately go to the Breakfast Club because they have to have that stamp of approval from Charlemagne the God in order for their podcast to go to that next level. And so if you've burned any bridges with Charlemagne the God and you're trying to become a black podcaster, it's gonna be a very, very hard climb for you to get to that next level, because there's no way that you're gonna get there without having an interaction with Charlemagne the God. Yeah, it's the truth. Look it up, sis. Um, we had talked about it before. I forgot who else was on Rainy's panel with me that night where we were talking to Rainy. Shout out to Rainy. And that's what we was letting her know, that, you know, when it comes down to black podcasting, the gatekeeper and the stamp of approval for you to move to that next level in podcasting is Charlemagne the God. Charlemagne the God and Charlemagne the God alone, because of that merger that he made with iHeartMedia, and they gave him the run and the power of the whole entire black podcasting network. And so all of our up and coming and premier black podcasters go through Charlemagne the God. And so I brought up the whole burning bridges part because we know of a specific person who has definitely burned a bridge with Charlemagne the God. And, you know, it's just another example of how your anger and how your bitterness can cause you to destroy these opportunities to be at a higher plateau. You said, why Charlemagne? Because Charlemagne has been raised up in that area. He's a byproduct of Wendy Williams. She taught Charlemagne everything that she knew about radio, and you know, radio is just podcasting is just the newer evolution of radio. And so he's been in the business for years, and he was the first one to have a thought that, hey, we need to have a representation for black podcasting. And so he went to iHeartRadio, which he was already in conjunction with because of the Breakfast Club, and he used his credentials and his radio experience to garner that type of position. And so they gave him that power over all of the black media when it comes down to podcasting. So I guess Charlemagne, the best explanation for that is because he was the one who initiated it, the idea to them, and they were on board because they saw how lucrative it was going to be. Yeah, you know, Charlemagne's not really my cup of tea either, but I recognize the position that he's in. I recognize the moves that he's been making because over the last, I say, 5 years, Charlemagne went from just being the radio guy to this phenomenon that has books and everybody wants to do interviews with, and now he's basically seen in the same regard as a journalist who went to school and different certifications to get those credentials. But Charlemagne is held in that same regard because of the moves that he's made. Now, like his personality or anything like that, he's been a shrewd businessman and he's cultivated a position of longevity for himself in entertainment and in the radio and podcasting world. So now if you're a black podcaster and you're really, really trying to get to that next plateau, you're going to have to see Charlemagne the God at some point. There's no way around it until somebody else comes out with an alternative to that. But iHeartRadio, we know how large they are as a network. We know that they span across the globe. And so this guy's got the world by the balls, so to speak. And so burning bridges with Charlemagne the God is not what you want to do if you're a podcaster, a black podcaster in particular. Yeah, I know it's crazy, but this is how the system goes. If good men fail to act, how then can they blame the bad guy for seizing that opportunity? You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times we sit around and we get angry about these things, but there wasn't a good person that would go in and seize that opportunity before he did. So, I mean, it is what it is. He got there first come, first serve. But this is the guy that we're going to have to deal with at some point. A lot of us, there's a lot of people in the free thinkers community that I definitely see moving up to that next level and being recognized on an international scale and a much larger scale. And they're going to have to come in contact with this dude. They're going to have to get that seal of approval from him. If not, then you'll continue to get it out of the mud and you'll have to grow your thing over time, and it'll take a long time to get there. Is it impossible to do? Absolutely not. You definitely can get there without Charlemagne's endorsement, but it's just going to take a lot longer and a lot more of your time and energy to do so. It's just like having the machine backing you as a music artist versus being an independent artist. Same scenario. Good morning, Cornbread. What's happening, my brother? Yeah. And so now we're in this situation to where a lot of us are up and coming and we're building each other up. But at a certain level, when we reach that level of notoriety to where the right people are seeing our content, because the saying, we say it all the time. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And if you don't know somebody that knows Charlemagne and Charlemagne don't get put onto your content, then you're going to be considered that independent artist and you're going to have to go out there and build everything on your own and get it organically out of the mud. Cool. But if you're gunning to be that top dog in the black podcasting world and you have those ambitions, that's the guy you're going to go see. Now, there's been a lot of people who don't like Charlemagne. They don't like his demeanor. They don't like the tactics that he uses. They don't like how he try to put people on the spot. When he made Lil Mama cry, that's when everybody really started hating him. And there's been a lot of questionable things from Leonard McCovey, as he likes to say, that the world don't like. But There's many people out here in positions of power that are actually worse than Charlemagne because, whether we agree with him or not, Charlemagne does bring up some good points sometimes, and he seems to genuinely have a heart for black people. It's just he's not going to go out of his way too much and stick his neck out for the movement. But he'll help you get along. He'll give you a platform and things like that to express yourself. You just have to play the game and you have to fall in line with the criteria that they set for him as a gatekeeper to let somebody in the doorway. It's just like everything else. You have the gatekeepers in sports, you have the gatekeepers in entertainment. And so yeah, Charlemagne is that guy. So I know that if I was ever to come in contact with him, I would be diplomatic. That is the thing. You have to be diplomatic. You're not going to like everybody that you do business with. There's going to be some people that you're going to be seeking investments from, and they're going to be people who indulge in certain things that you probably don't get down with. But that's not your business. They're willing to invest in you, and if you see the bigger picture, then most people are going to take those investments. Now, if those investments come with things like them having a say in how you run your thing and all of that, that's a whole different story. You don't want to connect yourself to people who have that type of ambition and want that much control in your business and stuff like that. But at the same time, you're going to have to deal with these type of people in any type of business that you're going to do. And so I would sit down with a Charlemagne the God. You're right. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. So me personally, I'm like this. If I know that I'm going to get an opportunity to be pushed into that next echelon of black podcasting, and all I have to do is sit down and be diplomatic with Charlemagne the God, knowing that I can help all of these other people and bring them up with me, I'm doing that. I'm not going to think twice about it. Because Charlemagne the God is not going to dictate my content, for one thing. Charlemagne the God is not going to have any bearing on how I do things and the message that's coming forth. So I'm not worried about that. When people are like, oh, you had to go through Charlemagne. Who don't have to go through Charlemagne nowadays if you really want to get on? And so I don't care about none of that. What I care about is the fact that I'll be given the platform that's necessary, and not just me, but just think about it. Everybody that I'm associated with, who you think I'm going to have on my panels? Who you think I'm going to have co-hosting? Who you think I'm going to have hosting their own shows? I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what's my man? Vlad, he has certain people that he will give the opportunity to actually interview other people, like Lunel. He let Lunel, she interviewed John Amos from Good Times and, from different movies and stuff like that. Rico Reckless, he's allowed the young drill rapper from Chicago, Rico Reckless, to actually do interviews with people because he has that type of relationship with them, and he has the platform to put those people on and give them that opportunity. So I'm thinking about the free thinkers right now. And I'm thinking about if any one of us were ever to happen to come across Charlemagne's view, and he liked what he heard and he liked what he saw, and he decided to give one of us an opportunity, don't you know that that doorway is not just open for that one person? That one person may be the one that they let in, but that one person is going to reach back and start to remember it. Man, I love this person. Oh man, when they came up on my panel, they did such a great job and my numbers went through the roof. And they're going to bring along these people. And this is how you get these different sub podcasts off of that. This is networking. This is marketing. This is all business. And so we can't allow our emotions to get into our business, because when you allow your emotions to get into your business, it can destroy everything. Just ask the 7 foot giraffe. That dude burned every single bridge he could with Charlemagne the God, not knowing that that was the person that would be the determining factor of whether he would struggle as a podcaster or whether he would be up on a whole nother level. So right now he could have been up on a whole nother level, but he chose to attack instead of go and have a conversation with this man and get everything straightened out and clarified. He allowed his emotions once again to destroy an opportunity that could have changed not only his life, but the lives of everybody on that side. God forbid, well, not God forbid, but thank Yahweh that it didn't happen, because the world would have been introduced to a Sister T or a Queen Regina or a Ears. So just think about that scenario. And so I am particularly glad that that bridge was burned. Uh, and I'm glad that someone else may just get that opportunity. It could be No Chill Arenas. I don't know of any um, issue that he have with Charlemagne. I think they're pretty civil and they're pretty straight. And so anybody that is attached with No Chill Arenas, you have an invested interest right now, because that's all it takes is for Gilbert Arenas to go on the Breakfast Club and talk about his podcast and get the attention of Charlemagne. So now Charlemagne is checking for Gilbert Arenas' podcast. And so anybody that's on that panel, anybody that's doing interviews with him, anybody that's in those chats that he recognized, these people could be put into the sights of the person who's over all of the black podcasting in this country. It's crazy how close you are to that. It's crazy how simple it is for a person to be noticed in the right place at the right time, saying or doing the right thing, and the next thing you know, you're off. It's just that simple. But at the same time, it's just that complicated as well. Man, that's a lot to think about right now. Yeah, but little old Charlemagne the God, who would have ever thought that he has so much power? Charlemagne is a power player right now because he sees that opportunity. Nobody was thinking about podcasting like that, especially on the black end. Nobody was real. They just saw it as a tool. Okay, well, I can make some revenue through doing this, but nobody thought to get an entire black podcasting network. Charlemagne was thinking big, and that's what we have to do. We have to think big, bigger than what we've been thinking. You know, I was always told as a kid to set my goals very high, very high. And in my quest to obtain those goals, even if I don't meet my top goal, I will have so much stuff accomplished just in trying to reach that goal. And in that, it's going to open up many doors for me. And so I pattern my life like that as far as my ambition and my goals. If I set out to be a podcaster, I don't just want to be a regular podcaster. I don't want to be a carbon copy of everybody else. I want to be set apart. I want to be something different. I want to be a fresh breath air. I mean, dang, wow. I want to be a breath of fresh air. I want to when people come to my podcast, to be like, oh, wow, I didn't even think to ponder that. I didn't even know that that was a thing. These are the types of reactions that I want out of people. I stated before that I don't want to be one dimensional. I don't want to be seen as a black struggle channel, because there's so much greatness in our people And I look just at my kids alone. And when I say my kids, I'm talking about my biological kids. I'm talking about my step kids. I'm talking about the kids that I've mentored. All of them are going out into this world to do great things. These are some super dope kids, super dope kids that are growing into the young men and women that are the future of this country, like Trey was alluding to last night when he was talking to one of my godsons. And I see these people doing great things on a regular basis, man. So I can't sit here and just look at the world as this tragic, horrible place, because I see too many people doing great things right now. And so I want to celebrate those things. I want to be able to celebrate those things without having a but as an asterisk next to every great accomplishment that I mentioned. And I'm not going to allow my channel to be that. So, I'm definitely always looking for different topics of conversation. I'm always looking for different formats. Sometimes I'm going to be posted up and you're going to see my face and all of that stuff. Sometimes I'm going to be on here with my avatar. I'm just going to be giving a variety of shows that you can look at. Some people like to see your face and feel like they're interacting with you. Some people like to just sit and listen while they're at work or when they're working out and stuff like that. So they don't necessarily need the visual. And so I want to be able to have a little something for everybody, just so that I don't get bored. Because if you just keep doing one thing over and over and over again, it's going to get bored. It's going to get monotonous, and people are going to be able to tell that in your energy or lack of energy, and, just going through the same old, same old. And so, yeah, I definitely think about all of these things whenever I'm doing my podcast. Now I'm going to be forced to upgrade my StreamYard, which I should have been done. I just be lazy a lot of times. I don't want to do a whole lot of stuff. I put a lot of time into my videos, but I know that I can put more time into it and make them more quality. And so, the time is right for that to take place. And so people are taking their time. Time is money. Time is valuable. And I have to respect y'all time. So if y'all take y'all time to come in and check me out, the least I can do is give you the best quality product that I am able to give. That's the least that I can do for everybody to show how much I appreciate what y'all do for me. So I came in to podcasting and I had this mindset. You can go back to my earlier videos and I would say stuff like, I'm not putting all these bells and whistles on my show, and I'm not doing all of these things because I don't want people to be distracted from my message. Well, if a couple of bells and whistles will distract people from my message, then maybe my message isn't powerful enough. Maybe I'm not serving it in a way to where those things will not take away from the message. And so I begin to think about all of these things as I sharpen my skills as far as interacting with people and talking to people, because I recognize there's certain filler words that I use like so and whenever I get stuck on a thought, I'll use those. And so I'm trying to sharpen my mind to where I'm able to articulate myself without using those filler words. These are some of the things that I learned in a journalism course that I took one semester of. And this was one of the things that uh, they tried to just reiterate that to us. You say you need variety, you get bored easily. You said my channel is a variety that. Thank you so much. I needed to hear that, Chicky. You don't know how much that means to me. That right there is what gives me the energy to move forward. Man, fuck what y'all talking about. Chicky said she got that variety. That I got that variety. She like, fuck what y'all talking about. I'll get like Turk on them. I got money now. Hey, shout out to my boy Turk, man. I like Turk's podcast. He's funny sometimes, man. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to to grow. I'm trying to show my growth to everybody as I grow because I feel like we're growing together. And there's nothing that will have a person to have your back like them seeing your growth over the years, them seeing you make the mistakes and seeing you come back and try to correct those things and become a better person. That right there is what make people rock with you till the wheels fall off. You know, anybody that I consider someone to admire in this world is someone that I've seen go through adversity and still come out on the other side with their character intact. That's what made me respect them and made me invest long term attention towards that person or support towards that person because I've seen the climb, I've seen the struggle. And through all of that, their character didn't waver. Or if it ever did, they corrected it and they redeemed themselves by humbling themselves and relying on the people to give them the good counsel so that they could go and make those corrections. These are the types of things that I look for. And so if I look for these things in other people, then I'm going to exhibit these qualities myself because I want everybody to know that I'm sincere about what I'm saying and doing. And a lot of people would get lost and they will lose that desire to make sure that the people know their sincerity, and then they'll begin to become disingenuous. They'll begin to feel like they've already been set up, and so they don't need to cater to their audience anymore. The people who put them there, they begin to forget those things as they climb in numbers and they climb in followers and views and all of that stuff like that. And I've never ever want to get caught up in that stuff. You know, I had a video, one of my TikToks, it went to 110K. And as it was climbing, I could feel this anxiety building up in me, and I found myself always checking the numbers on it because every time I looked there was 1,000 more people who liked it. There was 100 more views, and I began to see myself getting caught up in spending more time over there just checking on the numbers on that one single video. And so I see how powerful it is for people to get drawn into the acceptance of all of those views and likes and stuff like that. That's kind of a validation for a lot of people on the things that they're saying. Well, if 100,000 people are agreeing with me, then I must not be wrong, even though 100,000 is just a drop in the bucket when you consider the population. But these are the tricks that our minds will play on us and have us out here um, beside ourselves and outside of our character because we've bought into this idea. You say you post on your channel, but rarely check the numbers. I'm just putting out truth. That's it. That's me too. I'm not concerned with numbers. I do make sure that I'm familiar with the way the analytics work. Yeah, everybody got to know how the analytics work. You know what your target audience is. You know what time of the day your content is watched mostly. You know the age bracket that watches your content the most. And so these are tools that help you to shape the content that's going to be on your page and stuff like that. So I understand knowing that stuff, but I'm not going to sell my soul for some views. And I'm going to share something that I haven't shared with anybody since this took place. Um, I've told people that when I started out with a brother named Big J. He had a show called Big J Let's Talk Sports and social issues. And that's what he talked about, sports and things going on in the Black community. And that's some stuff that I was interested in. So I started listening. And then I started to interact through the chat with him. And he brought me up on the panel. We had good conversations. We fed off of each other very well, and at some point he asked me to kind of co-host with him, and I agreed. And he began to show me different things, like my little catchphrase that I say: sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. That's something that only to Deacon Mac. And so if you hear that catchphrase, if you're familiar with my content, you're going to associate that with me, because that's my catchphrase. And these are the things that Big J was showing me and teaching me. He was teaching me a little editing stuff, and he was teaching me how to engage with the audience and how to speak and all of that stuff. He took me under his wing, and we began to flourish. You could see the numbers growing, you could see the subs growing, and all of that stuff. And then we came to this portion when Sha'Carri Richardson had her controversy, and there was a lot of people who was giving Sha'Carri Richardson hell, and me being one of them. I was very critical about her because she had a very boisterous personality, kind of like a Muhammad Ali, but you have to be able to back that up with your actions. And so when she got blown out by the Jamaicans the way that she did, oh man, it was like they was licking their chops, and they came into our panel, and a lot of Jamaican people were they were coming on, and they was talking a lot of junk about Sha'Carri Richardson. Now, at this time, we were making critiques about the way that she was handling the situation. Cool, which is all fine and well. But where I began to have a problem was that a lot of the Jamaican people who were coming onto our platform and expressing Sha'Carri Richardson should handle things more properly. She should be more professional, and she should be a lady, and she should show some discipline and courtesy, and all of these things that they were saying. I was like, you're right. But at the same time that they were doing that, they were talking about her clothes. They was talking about her hair, her nails, anything that they could think of to bash that girl and to down her. They would come in right behind that and say that. And so other people on the panel, Big J was kind of catering to those people because there was masses of numbers that was coming in onto our platform to discuss this. And so subs was going through the roof, and views was going through the roof. I mean, we went from like getting maybe 2 or 3K views to 20K views on some things. And this right here encouraged Big J to cater to a lot of these people. Now, I'm the type of person, I don't give a damn what type of numbers you're giving us. You're not going to double talk like that, because the same thing that you're putting on her to have class and to be passionate and to be professional, none of y'all are exhibiting that while y'all over here beating this girl down and talking all of this shit. So for you to come on here and give that advice to her, y'all need to take that damn advice for yourselves and quit disparaging this lady and kicking her while she's down, because that's showing y'all poor judgment. And I started to push against those Jamaican people who was coming in using our platform as an opportunity to demonize that girl, and they wouldn't even exercise the same compassion that they was trying to put on her. And so I got mad, and I started pushing back, and I started roasting a lot of those damn people who was coming on there with that bullshit. And then there was another guy who used to come in sometimes and frequent our panels. And over the next few weeks, while the Jamaicans was running these different trials during the Olympics, whenever I hit Big J up and be like, hey, yo, so what's the show for today? And he'll hit me with that, oh man, that's okay, I got this one, don't worry about it. You can come up on the next one. All right, bet. Cool. Thought nothing of it. But this happened a few more times, and what I began to see was that him and this other guy was catering to this Jamaican crowd who just loved to come on there and bash Shakari Richardson. So it became a bash Shakari Richardson platform at that point, and I wanted no parts of it. And so I've decided to fall back. I didn't have no fallout with Big J. I ain't talking no shit to Big J. None of that. I just fell back. And so whenever he kind of got off of that a little bit and he wanted to bring me back on so I wouldn't interrupt it or interfere with his Jamaican following that he has now, I was like, nah, bro, I'm cool. I'll do my own thing down here because at that point, he had already showed me how to start doing my own little show, and he gave me the avenue to start building DMAC Let's Talk. That's what my show was originally called. It was patterned after Big J Let's Talk. And so I was like, no, I'm cool. I'll just sit down here and I'll work on my show and work on building up my platform. I'm right behind you, big bro. And we parted ways right there. And, I have no hard feelings. I always salute Big J and I always recognize him as the person who put me on the game, put me under his wing, and really built me up in this podcasting world. And he didn't have to do that at all. So I always give Big J the utmost respect on that aspect. But I had to take a stand on what I believed when that whole thing went down. And I was not going to cater to these people who couldn't even take their own damn advice and was disparaging this young black queen. And so that's how I ended up with my own podcast. And so in doing this, I've been spending this last year, it's been about a year or so. And during that whole Shakari Richardson and Jamaican thing, might I add, just to drop a note, that was also during the same time that the whole Kwame Brown against Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes thing had came out. And so we was dealing with all of those issues at one time. And so that's why I say KB is not always just been the topic of conversation. It just so happened that he came up as a topic of conversation during a time where a lot of things was going on and he got swept up in the content. And so, he didn't like my pushback. He didn't like the fact that I was jeopardizing the building up of this following that he had. And, you know, that's just what it was. I stand on what I stand on, and I'm not going to back down off of it for nobody. I give all love and all respect and all um, every accolade that my Jamaican sisters deserve because they did blow the scene up. I had absolutely no problem with the Jamaican runners or what they was doing. I love that. Those are my sisters. Those are my people. I had a problem with the fans who was coming on our platform and disparaging that young lady and showing poor sportsmanship, but then turn around and say how she needs to show good sportsmanship. I'm like, well, hell, y'all need to practice what you preach. I don't care who you are. I'm going to check you if you're not right. Period. And so he didn't like that, man. And that was the end of that. And I'm cool on that. Blessings, love you. You know, it's always good to see you. And that was that. But I still love and respect Big J. And if Big J wanted me to do anything with him, I absolutely wouldn't hesitate to do so. But I checked his channel not too long ago, and he really hasn't done a video in over a year. So it seems like maybe shortly after I fell away, I don't know what happened. I haven't been in contact with him to see because I just really don't feel like it's appropriate for me to pry into that. I don't know what went down. I just been having my head down, focusing on articulating right, being able to engage with people, being able to give people an opportunity to speak. Because I know a lot of people will get caught up in talking and they'll forget to let other people speak. And nobody wants to be lectured all day, every day. So yeah, I've just been spending this year trying to sharpen my skills. And I interacted with Self Awareness TV way back then. He was up on quite a few panels with me and Big J. I put up a clip the other day where Self Awareness was in the chat and we was talking about some things. So I've been dealing with Reverend Tony for over a year, off and on here and there. And so when I discovered his channel and I started to interact with him on his channel, he was like, "Oh, you got a channel? You got your own channel now?" And he was like, "Bet." And that's when he decided to take me under his wing and introduce me to the free thinker community. So that's basically my story in a nutshell, man. But I'm always gonna try to be, well, not try to, ain't no try about it. I'm always gonna have integrity. I'm always gonna stand on what I believe. Blessings, free thinkers. Blessings. Thank to see you in the house. And it's gonna rub some people the wrong way. I understand that, but that's the risk that I'm willing to take in order to stand on integrity and to be a stand-up guy. I'm not going to be popular. I'm not going to get all of the views. I'm not going to get all of the numbers. I made that up in my heart back then that I am absolutely okay with that. It's not about the numbers for me. If there's 200, how many subscribers do I have? 275 subscribers. And salute to all them subscribers. I love all of y'all. I appreciate every one of y'all because y'all are quality people. Y'all aren't just a phantom number out there somewhere that's helping to validate me. I don't see y'all like that. Y'all are people, y'all actual people that interact with me, that help pour into me, and we feed off of each other. And that's what I cherish more than anything else. I'll take my 275 quality subscribers over a million just stats any day. Any day. And so this is the way that I choose to grow, slowly, but with intention, because I know that if the day comes that I ever get seen or heard by the right people and they choose to give me a shot, anybody can go back into my catalog of videos and they can see that I've been the same dude the whole entire time. I haven't strayed away from my beliefs. I haven't strayed away from my views. And if there's some views that I found out that I was wrong, I made sure to correct those things on air the same way that I said the mistake on air, because I want to be that transparent with everybody. I don't want to be seen as no messiah who knows everything. I don't want to be seen as no type of guru or no crap like that. I want to be seen as just a brother who is trying to find truth. And he's willing to talk to and associate with anybody who's on that quest for truth. That's where I'm at with it, man. And I'm never going to be a person on here doing, well, no, I take that back, because there's a couple malicious things that I'm going to do. I'm going to talk shit about people who come on here trying to act like they're activists. I've already established that if you come in here and you're trying to talk like you're an activist and you're this and that, and you don't have the resume to go along with it, then yeah, I got a problem with you and I'm going to get malicious with you. You come in here and you try to hinder anything that we are doing to empower our people, our children, our women, our black men, or anything like that. If I see you as a hindrance to that, oh yeah, I'm gonna be malicious with you. Very much so. I'm not gonna give any room, no benefit of the doubt, none of that shit for somebody who I identify as doing that. That's zero tolerance for me. And so, yeah, man, I'm definitely understanding this whole podcast world now. Little by little, I still don't know everything. So there may be some things that I do. If I do something and it's out of the proper etiquette and I just don't know, Somebody please come and, you know what I'm saying, pull my coattail, pull me off to the side and be like, hey, we generally do it like this and like that. And I'll receive that information. I'll take it to heart and I'll apply it to my repertoire so that I won't make those mistakes anymore. But anything that I do that would offend somebody right now, it's out of ignorance, and it's because I just don't know everything and how everything works in here yet. But I'm learning, and I'm willing to learn. So that's it. I'm gonna step on some toes. I'm going to disagree with some people, and there's going to be no love lost because those are the things that you have to be able to risk in order to grow. And anytime you want to think outside of the box, anytime you think outside of what the norm is, you're going to risk offending some person. I was so glad when Jordan Peterson brought that out because everybody was always on him about his content and how his content offended people. And the answer that he gave was so perfect. See, that's the thing about Jordan Peterson. He's very particular and very specific in his answering to where he takes away all of your semantics. He takes away all of the word manipulation that you could possibly use to swing or switch or change his narrative. And he destroys that emphatically. That's what I respect about Jordan Peterson. And that's one thing that I try to take away from him is being thorough. Because when you're thorough, you don't give people room to criticize. You don't give people room to say, well, what if or what about? Because we know that other side loves the what aboutism. Yeah, well, I did do this, but what about? This has been a famous thing that's been going on for over a long time. It's been going on forever, but even more so in the last 4 or 5 years, we've heard a lot of whataboutism, especially coming from different political spectrums. Yeah, we do this, but what about that? What about Hillary? Well, what about George Bush? Well, what about George? Yeah, all of that whataboutism, man. Whenever you're thorough, you eliminate all of that stuff. And so your argument is ironclad. So I'm just picking up these things from different people, man. And um, yeah, I'm adding it to my arsenal. So there's going to be a time that comes to where I'm going to be on the hot seat and somebody is going to be hitting me with these hard questions looking for that aha gotcha moment. And I got to be prepared for it. Not only for me, but for anybody who comes and interacts with me. If anybody try to come at y'all, oh, I'm well, I'm not looking for an opportunity, but if the opportunity ever arises to where somebody is trying to attack my people, bro, y'all about to see a damn real bulldog. Y'all about to see a real slobbering, the whatever the meanest bulldog you can get a picture in your mind of, that's gonna be me fighting on your behalf. And you ain't gotta ask me. You're gonna have to ask me to chill out, is what's gonna happen. If I see anybody fucking with my people, you're gonna have to be like, chill, Mac, chill, bro, chill. Yeah, that's how that dynamic is gonna work. Because if I fucks with you, I fucks with you, period. You're right. You said exactly. Don't come for mine. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's why I it's hard for me to stay out of some of these battles that's going on because now that I'm familiarized with certain people and certain actions, the patented throat punch. There it go. There it go. That patented throat punch. Yes, Chicky. I love you, man. That's what it's gonna be. That's absolutely what it's gonna be, man. I have no qualms about it. I was born a fighter. I was trained to fight. It's ingrained in me to do. And I do more fighting with my mind than I do with my hands. That's one thing over the years that I've noticed. Back in my young days, I did a lot more fighting with my hands. But now I do a lot more fighting with my mind. It ain't that my hands changed. My hands still quick. My shoulders still work. But it's just that I've learned a better way to do things. And when you learn better, you do better. And so this is a part of manhood. I promote manhood. That's what we're doing here. So, man, damn, I didn't think I've been on for almost an hour already. Shit, 50 minutes. But, Chicky, Lovey, free thinkers, we can sit in here and we can do this all day because we have a wealth of just free thought, free flowing thought. And we don't allow people to hamper us and make us scared to express those thoughts. That's why it's easy for us to have an hour worth of content just like that because we're not worried about what we're saying. I'm free to say whatever name over here. Oh, I didn't tell y'all. So yesterday I went over there after No Chill announced everything, and Kwame did his little live yesterday. I'm being chat ninja. I go over there. I'm chat ninja, and he's talking about this and that, and so they timed me out. They timed me out, man, and I'm like, okay, cool, because the brother tried to tell me that I was like, he was saying something, and I responded with, tell that to No Chill Arenas, and Biz was like, oh, we don't say that name over here. You can't say that name over here. I'm like, dude, I'm a grown ass man. You don't tell me what I can say on the platform. Bam, timed out. Just like that. That's why I came back and did my video that I did about the roaches and all of that stuff. That was when they had timed me out. I was on that panel for all of a minute and 30 seconds. I don't know who timed me out. It was probably Deron B, because he don't like me. We already had a couple of clashes anyway, but yeah, that dude Biz was like, yeah, we don't say that name over here on this side. Well, that's y'all. I'm not from over here. I'm coming from my side and I'm trying to interact with y'all, but you're gonna try to dictate to me what names I can say. You done bumped your rabbit ass mind. Excuse me, your wabbit ass mind. Excuse me again, your woach ass mind. You done bumped your woach ass head, dog. You think you gonna dictate to me what I'm gonna say? I don't give a damn who platform it is. You're not gonna dictate what I can say. I'm a grown ass man, dog. I fought for the damn freedom to say what the fuck I want. You think I'm gonna allow somebody on a damn social media platform to dictate to me what I'm gonna say? You done bumped your woach ass head, dog. And bam, timed out. You're timed out. We're not gonna take it. Okay, bet. Yeah, the clown face. You're absolutely right. Straight clowns. Straight clowns, And was I going over there to be messy? Maybe. Not too messy. I was just going to talk about the issue that was at hand because, I never go over there just hurling insults at people and stuff like that. I go over there and I just give pushback on things that are being said because I know they talking shit that's out of line. Somebody got to disagree. Everybody else over there co-signing everything that he say. I'm not going to co-sign everything that he say, but at the same time, I'm not going to be sitting there calling him stupid and stuff like that. Uh, I'm just going to tell you, hey, Rome fell because they were fighting from the inside. This is something that I see taking place over here. Oh, who are you to say that? Well, I'm the person who's on the outside looking in at all of this infighting that's destroying your damn channel. That's who I am. You better check it out. You better get a plan together for No Chill Arenas. Oh, well, you can't say that name over here. Shit. No chill, no chill, no chill. Arenas. Gilbert. Shit. that bothers me, because this is the same dude who came to our platform and sat up there and told us that if you come to that side, you can talk what you want, you can talk freely, and you ain't gonna be getting timed out because Queen Regina ain't there no more. And so I'm starting to see that Queen Regina wasn't the damn problem like we told Biz ass then. Queen Regina is not the problem. Queen Regina wasn't there to time me out. So who they gonna blame the shit on now? See, this is why I didn't want to give that nigga the benefit of the doubt. And I said I wasn't going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's disingenuous. And he came over here on some fuckboy shit. So it is what it is, man. I still don't have too much against that brother. I just see Biz as a casualty of war. I ain't gonna pick on him. I ain't gonna go at him or none of that shit like that, because my target has always been one person and one person alone, and that's Kwame Brown. And so I try to keep all of his minions out of it. But if they decide that they want to jump in front of the bullet, that's between them and the bullet. That's all I'll say on that. But back to the main topic. If you are a black podcaster and you're really, really trying to get to that next plateau of podcasting, you're going to have to go through Charlemagne the God, because Charlemagne the God is the gatekeeper for black podcasting whenever iHeart Media gave him full control of the black podcasting networks. So just know that that's a bit of information that I wanted to give to everybody. So you have that in the back of the mind if you have those aspirations and those ambitions to move to the next level of podcasting. I hope this helps somebody. It definitely was an eye opener to me whenever I learned about it. I was like, damn, Charlemagne really got it like that. You know, and apparently not a lot of black podcasters know, because like I said, whenever I was on Rainy's platform, shout out to Rainy, and we were talking about this, she didn't know either. She was like, Charlemagne the God? Really? He got that type of pull? Yeah, Charlemagne the God. So just know that all black podcasters going to that next level, at some point, if you become that big, you're going to have to deal with Charlemagne the God. But that's all I really got for right now. I'm about to go in here and take out what I'm going to cook for dinner tonight. I don't even really know what that is yet, but whatever it is, it's going to be cool, because your boy D-Mac can throw down a little bit in the kitchen. That's one of the things that my father taught me growing up, you know, because in my household, you know, my dad and my mom worked, but my dad got home way earlier than my mom did. And so my dad would do a majority of the cooking in the household. Plus, my dad baked the cake every Sunday with Sunday dinner. And, you know, I sneak in the kitchen sometimes and I see what he was doing. He would always run me out of his kitchen because he didn't want us to make his cake fall. This was back in the day when your cake could fall by stomping too much around in the kitchen. And I would just pick up little things here and there. And so now this is something that is just normal for me to do. You know, I'm retired, I'm chilling, I'm here all day most of the time. So when my baby get off work, what is it for me to have her a little meal in here? You know what I'm saying? That's the least I can do. That's light stuff right there. And yeah, so I'm going here and take my stuff out for the day. You say hook a sister up. Hey, I cooked fried chicken last night. I don't know. I need to make probably a baked dish today. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put a whole lot of that grease and oil into my system. I always try to balance it out with, and I love my air fryer. My air fryer, man, ever since I got that, oh my gosh, it took it to a whole nother level. I love my air fryer. Plus, I feel a lot better. I feel healthier because it's taking all of that grease and stuff out of my foods, and I don't have to eat everything deep fried. And so, you know, I feel a lot better. I come off some weight and stuff like that. And Yeah, it's just a very good investment that I made. So I'm gonna probably take out something that I'll be able to use in the air fryer and make a nice little dinner for me and wifey for the night, man. So let me go ahead and get to that. I appreciate y'all. This is your boy D Mac, man. Y'all know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.